On this episode of The Journal, we take a trip into the music world and we get to see what it's really like. Stay tuned.
Korean pop is becoming a popular music genre here in North America.
Welcome to The Journal. I'm your host, Jamyle Burchell. Today, we'll be showing you a few docs produced by students in Centennial College's broadcast and film program. We also have an extra special guest with us today performing her new single, Fool for Love, which just recently got over 1 million plays on YouTube. But first, let's travel into the world of K-pop with Lindsay as she learns about this new musical craze sweeping the Western world.
Korean pop is becoming a popular music genre here in North America. I'm in Toronto, Ontario, ready to learn about Korean pop and how it influences music culture here in North America.
I need a cha-cha beat, boy. 너무나 완벽한 밤이야. 내 움직임에 나는 미쳐. 조금 더 가까이 다가와. 애타게 기다리고 있어. Give me that work like you reread 너는 내 진이나 소원을 빌지. Oh, let me see that thing, baby. 지금 이 순간이 내가 기다려왔던 그 시간이야. 너의 몸짓을 보면 네가 뭐 원하는지 감이 와. 정말 계속 저 밤새도록 피고 나니까 네 눈빛에 난 취해서 영원히 안기고 싶어. So baby girl, wake up, let's get it started. Stay up, girl, I'll be on it. 까지만 알아면 괜찮아. 리달게, so baby 따라와. Baby, be like you. 거부할 수 없는 나의 지금 모습. I hope you know it. I hope you know it.
My name is Lily Wu. I've been listening to K-pop since high school, so probably around more than 6 years now. K-pop is a short form for Korean pop or is Korean popular music. The music genres consist of electronic, pop, and hip-hop, and R&B music from South Korea. What I like about K-pop is the dancing, because many of the idols have been trained it under the company for more than at least 3 years maybe. They have incredible dance skill and singing skill before they debut. Other than that, I also like their looks and their style of music too. A lot of K-pop artists are trying to debut in America. I know 21CL, she debuted in America probably 2 years now. I enjoy talking to people who have common interests with me, especially in K-pop. We can talk about Korean drama and talk about those Korean boys and yeah. 안녕하세요. My name is Lily and I like Korean music.
Now that we learned what K-pop really is, it's time for me to get ready and learn the steps to one of K-pop's biggest hits, Good Boy by D-Dragon and Taeyang.
put your hands in the air. How you feeling out there? We gon' party over here, you got to say it. Let me hear you say la 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yo, that was sick. I'm not even joking. I'm kind of feeling the K-pop. Yo, Lindsay, I know you're in the editing suite right now. What's going on?
Not much. How about you?
I got a lot of questions for you right now, actually, because the K-pop is looking pretty sick.
Yeah,
so
I know, right?
could you just please tell me a little bit more about K-pop? What is K-pop?
So K-pop, it's like electronic. It's very upbeat. Sometimes they have like a little rap in it. Sometimes they throw a few English words, but it's mostly like in Korean. It's really popish. But yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. So is it only Koreans that are, making K-pop music?
I know there's like one person in a band who's like Canadian, but it's mostly like Koreans.
Okay, great. Now, we have to talk about this right now. We're not going to let this go by. Those dance moves. Where did you learn them?
Actually, when we were doing the video, I was watching a YouTube video, but I knew some of the moves from beforehand because me and my friend used to like watch it when we were bored. Sometimes when we're hanging out. So.
I'm not gonna lie, you killed it. You might have to show some of us on the cast and the crew here, how to get down like that, honestly.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the dancing was actually your favorite part in making the doc, or was it something else?
Yeah, it was one of them. The other parts were like when we went to Koreatown and seeing all like the cute little shops around and going in and seeing everything. It was really fun.
Okay, great. So when did you actually start listening to K-pop?
So I started listening to K-pop around like 5 years ago when I was back in high school. My best friend got me into it, and it just went downhill from there. You get hooked onto it.
Yeah, I know. I get you. That happens with a lot of artists, with me as well.
Yeah.
So we might as well ask, who are some of your favorite artists?
I had to say Big Bang or BTS or EXO. They have really good music videos along with their music, and there's really good music to listen to. It's really fun.
Oh, okay, cool. So do they ever come to Canada?
Big Bang actually did come to Canada last year. They came to the Air Canada Centre actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Were you able to go to that concert?
No,
or no?
unfortunately not. There was like $300 for like up in the nosebleeds.
Nah, it's a big deal. I could tell. Honestly, that was really sick. So next, actually, we're gonna be getting into our next documentary, getting the score, right after these messages. The one thing that I feel is really underappreciated in movies is its score. They blend into a movie to make its scenes more dramatic, its action scenes more intense, thrillers more riveting, and even motions more relatable. In getting the final score, Andre and his crew take us behind the scenes to see what it's really like to come up with these beautiful pieces that are in the movies. We get to follow musical composer Jamyle as she leads us through her process and her story. Enjoy.
I don't know if this is of interest, but I'm a member of the Screen Composers Guild of Canada. For me, I've always been really creative, and I love the process of creating music, but I also love the idea of helping to tell stories. And so that's what eventually led me to write music for film. When I'm looking at a film, I either think of what is the audience feeling right now, and should I be using music to help support them through that journey? Or I look at what's the character feeling and what are they going through, and is there an appropriate use of music to help them through that? It's just knowing how all those different parts work together. And it's about having the idea of the end goal, which is, of course, to be able to use music to project an emotion, or to help tell a story by pushing the action forward, or to even tell a story that's not on screen, sort of like what's happening off camera, something that you should just instinctively know about the characters or the situation. It's a collaborative environment, which means the sole purpose of the music is to serve the film. Part of the challenge is putting everyone's perspective into a musical idea that makes sense. And so sometimes there's a little fight between what sounds awesome and what's needed and still sounds awesome. So I often will read through a script, and it'll give me a really good idea of the style and the mood and sort of where specific pieces of music might go, particularly if there's any source music or music that's supposed to be in the scene where the actors can hear it. Once there's a picture to take a look at, then probably the most important meeting of the entire production will happen, and that's what's called a spotting session. There's so much of the process that isn't writing music. It's how to get the job and how to negotiate the deals, what a contract's all about, what's copyright. And then, of course, after the job is finished, what do you do then? You know, filing copyrights and cue sheets and all that good fun stuff. So for me, when you put all the different elements together, it's magic. It really is.
So I'm here with Charmie, our musical guest for later on, which we'll be seeing, which will be amazing. So let's get right into this. You got over 1 million hits for a new song,
Yeah.
"Fools for Love." How does that feel?
Fool for Love. It feels very. I don't really know how to answer that one. Yeah.
No, I can imagine, because it's such big numbers and people are able to see your new song and everything like that. So
Yeah.
it must be an amazing experience
Yeah, of
overall.
course.
So could you tell me a little bit more about the actual process of making the actual music video?
Yeah. The process. So Fool for Love is my collaboration with 10 Digits, a Toronto DJ here, and that whole process was just awesome. We co-wrote the song together. And the music video and everything, it was just like, it was, I can't believe this is happening right now. Like,
No, it's okay.
yeah.
No, I can imagine. So it must have been a really good experience for you to go through at the time,
Of
because again,
course.
you're making a crazy music video, which is great.
Of course.
And then also, you're having this awesome experience with this DJ. 10 Digits is awesome.
Of course, yes.
All right. So could you let us know about you? I heard you're dropping an EP.
Yes, so I'm just in the process of recording that right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Sounds great.
Yeah.
So we're going to be checking out Charmie later. She's going to be doing a great live performance for us. But now, let's get to Vinyl Resurgence.
couple. I basically, along with my father Martin and my brother Nick, we co-run Cops Records. We've been more or less working together in total since 1976. When vinyl was getting big back in the 70s, obviously we were able to specify our market. Basically anyone who was interested in 45s, my dad would wholesale to it. And by the late 90s, early 2000s, when vinyl was probably at its lowest, we still had the bedrock of 45s in both here and in the United Kingdom, where my dad's secondary business selling soul music in England was able to kind of keep us afloat. My dad had a history of going to the northeastern United States for buying 45s. So he would go to Philadelphia and Pittsburgh, Detroit, all the small towns in between. He'd buy 45s there and ship them to the UK where they were popular. But nowadays we focus mostly on Toronto now because that's where the booming market is. There's a big demand now for soul and jazz music here in Toronto. But back in the day, it wasn't necessarily as popular, so there's not as much used soul and jazz kicking around. So to reach that demand, we go to, cities in the U.S. where they were popular at the time, and now that they are being sold. So the resurgence of vinyl has changed our business very much so. Particularly because, as I previously mentioned, the importance of keeping up with the digital age. There are online retailers that we are always cheaper than, but we always have to make sure we keep a watch on what they're selling and for how much, so that people know we sell it for cheaper. The resurgence of vinyl has more so changed our business model when it happened, not so much that it happened. Though we are, of course, carrying a lot more albums than 45s now that, of course, we no longer need to rely on the UK for sending 45s to. As I always say, it's kind of like, you can have 1,000 books on an e-reader, but if you go on the subway, you don't see a lot of e-readers. You see a lot more people reading books because it's that feeling of being able to physically hold something, experience it. Right. You can't put it on shuffle. You have to listen to it from start to finish. So it's a matter of how many more people get into that market and how many more people learn to appreciate the experience. And unfortunately, it's too difficult to predict. You never know what's going to happen next. So we go month by month, see what happens.
Have you ever wondered how some of your instruments are created or even sold, maybe even restored after being used for so long? Well, the next doc that we have does just that. Jeff Hamilton, who's actually a pro in the buying, selling, and restoration of guitars, shows us his process and what it's like for him in everyday life in this business. Please enjoy.
Jeff Hamilton. I have a side business doing sort of customized paint jobs on guitars of all values, I guess. I like to just buy cheap guitars, fix them up, paint them up, make a little profit, just do something a little different. How many guitars have I had? I'm getting up to 100, I guess. I've been doing this since I started playing guitar years ago, decades ago, just to have my own sort of, look and feel on a guitar instead of what everyone else has. This one is going to be painted blue, obviously, with orange, because as a kid I really liked the late 60s golf racing, Le Mans cars and stuff that Porsche had. So basically what I do first of all is strip all the parts off, all the wiring, everything, and if there's, difficult wiring, you label it and stuff like that so you're not lost when you're putting it back together. Tape off the fretboard, so you give it a sort of a rough sand, before you paint it, then you hang it up in a spray booth or whatever you have. Not in your house because it's kind of messy. And you put a light coat on it, which is on what's on this right now, just so you can see where the, sort of, it's almost like a filler coat to fill in the scratches and dents and stuff, or to see where it needs more work. Okay, so this is one of my personal ones. Basically, I'm making this look older. I'm going to eventually paint the red. I'm going to do black on it. I'm going to use kind of lacquer, nitrocellulose lacquer. So what you do with the lacquer, the nitro lacquer, is you basically freeze the body once all this is off, and then you expose it to like extreme heat, like a torch or even beside the fire kind of thing, and it'll crack like a 60-year-old, 50-year-old guitar would naturally do. And then you take, this is my new favorite stuff, just basic shoe polish, not that anyone ever polishes their shoes anymore, and you put this into the cracks of it so it looks like years of dirt. And then you've got your fake 50-year-old Fender Strat. Instead of paying $25,000 for one, you pay $500, and that's it.
Finally, what we've been waiting for. This is Charmie, this is Kodai, and this is Fool for Love.
You never gave me a reason to stop me from leaving. I always wanted to stay. Everything we believe in is keeping us breathing. But players always play. Eyes held high. You're the one I trust. Breathing the fire, you're the one I love. You never gave me a reason to stop me from leaving. But I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for loving you. Whoa, I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool in love with you. Whoa. Whoa. Remember when it all started? Love was the target, but never in the right way. Picture perfect illusion, causing confusion to the dangerous game we play. Eyes held up high, you're the one I trust. Breathing the fire, you're the one I love. You never gave me a reason to stop me from leaving. But I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for loving you. Whoa, I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool in love with you. Whoa. You're the one I trust. Breathe in the fire. You're the one I love. Eyes held up high. You're the one I trust. Breathe in the fire. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for loving you. Whoa, I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm the fool in love with you. Eyes held up high. You're the one I trust. Breathe in the fire. You're the one I love. You never gave me a reason to stop me from leaving. But you know, I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool in love with you. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool for love. I'm a fool in love with you. Oh, 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 oh.
Great, that was great. Thanks a lot, guys. We really do appreciate it. So make sure you guys follow Charmie at Charmie on all of her social media. And thank you for watching The Journal. Have a great day.